Today, I'm reviewing Wild Card by the Bag Brokers. Let's go and dive in, break these bags down. As always, we'll start with materials. Slow side. This is, I'm pretty sure this is a hybrid material. It kind of looks like it. It feels like it, plays like it. So I'm going to call it a hybrid material. Not 100% positive, but I think it's a hybrid material. When I first saw this, it looks familiar to me, but I don't recall any other bag that I've thrown or reviewed that uses the material. It reminds me of some of those razor bags I reviewed. I think the Podium, and maybe it was the Tusk. It's a similar material in the feel and look. It's not exactly the same as those. I don't know if there was another razor bag or someone else that actually used this, but again, I don't think I've reviewed another bag that uses this exact same material. It's a very soft material. I call it it plays about a 5-speed. I think Bag Brokers called it a 5-speed on their listing as well, and I agree with that. It plays kind of that nice mid-speed. It has control to it, but you can still it still slides up pretty nicely, so you can run bags in the hole with it, or you can play dirty style game. It gives you a lot of that versatility in there. 5-speed on the slow side of these wild cards. Fast side, this is that Pro Sniper Viper fast side, 9-speed. It's great for pushing those blockers up. You get those level 2, level 3 blockers fast enough to push them all the way up into the hole, no problem whatsoever. It's great for blowing bags out of the way or playing that get around game. It's great from blowing up bags or can deal with congestion around the hole there. So 5, 9 speed on these wild cards. Template wise, medium template bag. It's got a medium amount of fill to it. So the bag has a little bit of flop. It is not overly floppy. It's definitely not a sloppy, floppy bag. It's also not a super full, chunky bag either. It kind of falls what I call kind of that sweet spot, that just right spot. Most players that pick this bag up are going to love the way it feels and be able to throw it and have no issues whatsoever with it. The fill in here is it's a mostly flat disc fill. I think there's some filler beads or whatever to give the bag some volume, because I find there's some non-flat disc filling beads in here, but there are not a lot of them, and I don't think they don't really impact the way the bag plays. So this really plays like a flat disc, a flat fill bag. Very forgiving, very soft landing. It doesn't have a lot of action or bounce, so it takes away a lot of that kick, which means if you're not a flat bag thrower, these wild cards are perfect for you because they're not going to punish you like a more active, bouncy bag would. The hand feel in these bags is incredible. These two materials, this slow side, really, once it breaks in, it gets nice and soft, all the way it feels. This fast side will soften up over time as you break it in, and because of that flat feel, the bag compresses nicely, it fills up. It's a very fluid, smooth feeling bag, so the hand feel is awesome on these wild cards. So if you like hand feel, or hand feel is important to you, you're going to love the way these feel. These are ACO stamps. You play in the ACO through the wild cards. The Bag Brokers also sell, or you can get a TCL version of them as well if you go to the TCL shop. So ACO or TCL players can throw the wild card. Let's go and jump in. Let's talk more about playability on these bags. And it's a versatile bag in the sense that, as I mentioned, this slow side here has a lot of control to it. Throw blockers up there, you can play a dirty style game, or it's hole friendly enough speed that you can run bags. You can kind of do a little bit of both. To me, where I think this bag shines, because of the fill, it's not a very active, it's not a very bouncy fill, as I mentioned. It's a more forgiving fill. I found this bag really better for me, and if I'm just trying to run bags in the hole and with the occasional blocker up there. I'm not looking to get cute with the cuts, rolls, flops. Can you do that? Yes, you can shot shape with this bag, but you got to be kind of, I think, above average to advanced or elite. The average to below average player, not going to have a lot of success with it. It's not hard to do, and maybe average could. I don't know. It's right on that borderline, right? I think most players that pick this up, if you can cut and roll and flop other bags, you have no problem with this. If you're still learning to do it, not the easiest bag to do because of that very forgiving fill in there. So I don't think it's the best bag for shot shaping. And you'll see when I stage blockers, I was able to cut around bags, but I think the bag does better in the get around or kind of the bully style play. But the shot shaping option is there for those players that can do that. But for most players, it's not what you're doing. And I don't think it's what this bag was designed for. I really think this bag was designed more for those players who throw a little harder, maybe you have a lower trajectory on your throw. You just want a bag that has a little more control, but it's more hole friendly than those really sticky traditional carpet bags, right? Those traditional sticky carpet materials will hang up a lot in the hole. They don't drip in. These wild cards, this material, just a touch faster, but it's much more hole friendly. So you get up there, you can throw it, you can play. You're not afraid of bags hanging or sticking up. The bags are going to drip in more. So you can throw those bags with confidence, not be afraid of them flying off the bag. You don't have to finesse them. So I think this bag fits for that really well. It's also a great bag for those fast bag throwers who want to step down and get a slower bag and play a little more control style game, because a lot of those fast bag throwers tend to go fast bag because they don't have the perfect flight of their bag. Their bags don't land pretty, they don't fly pretty, they just go straight in the hole, and fast bags tend to minimize the the lack of flatness on your bags. I don't know if I said that right, but if you don't throw flat, you go faster, you're not going to be punished as much. So if a fast bag player picks these wild cards up, it's going to have a similar feel to it that they're used to. It's going to play similar. Like it doesn't have that punishing kick or punishing bounce or action that they're not used to. So it's a material or a bag that they can step down to and throw and have a little more control. So if you're a fast bag thrower and you want a bag where you can throw some blockers and play a little bit of style game, you can do it with these wild cards. If you're a carpet bag thrower and you want a bag that's more hole friendly, more forgiving, I think you step up to these wild cards and you'll find that that's what you're looking for there. Collectability, if you do throw blockers up there, as I mentioned, this low side has control, so you can put your blockers wherever you want on there. Because the bags are not really loose and sloppy, floppy, collectability is very easy. You're just coming down, clipping a corner, and drip the bag in. And like I said, they are very hole friendly. For being a 5-speed, this low side does drip really well. Fast side, extremely hole friendly. But what I like with these wild cards is when I'm just running back, sometimes I want my bag just to slide up and just drip in the hole. And that way, if I throw a little hard, it hits the back and falls and it doesn't skip over. And if I throw a little soft or I land a little short on the board, it slides up and stops in front of the hole. And that's why these wild cards, just keep them down the middle, sliding them up there. If I leave them short, they sit there, they become a blocker. If my opponent doesn't collect them, I can come down, just bump in and kind of do a push replace with them, or come down last bag, fast side, plenty of speed to push through and take them all in. You can collect multiple bags this fast side. The bags have enough fold up to them that if I was trying to push through multiple bags, they didn't bunch or clog in the hole. They folded up, they dripped in really nicely. So definitely a bag where if you are trying to play a little bit of a dirty style, or you're planning against a opponent who is, you don't have to be afraid to. It's a bag that has enough speed. You can blow through those piles. You can blow your opponent's bags out of the way, or you can collect your bags and take them in. So it does give you that versatility to play a little bit of different ways, however you want to do it, or mix and match. Like I love playing more of that hybrid style game when I go there and play. I don't like to get up there and just play the same way every single round, because your opponent then knows what you're doing, and then they can kind of play to put you in a situation where you're not comfortable, right? But if you're constantly changing up the way you're playing, you keep your opponent guessing. They don't really know, is this round, are you throwing blockers or are you running bags? They're not sure what to do. And I find that if I can keep my opponent off balance and keep them guessing, they tend to overthink things and tend to make more mistakes. So that leads me into availability, and Bag Brokers has a website. It's thebagbrokers.shop. As always, there's a link to the description for you guys. I'll also put a link down there for the TCL website, because if you want to buy the TCL stamped version, you have to go straight through the TCL site. So the Bag Brokers shop is there if you want to buy the ACO version. I think they also offer an unstamped version as well. I think they do. You can get unstamped ACO, or you can get TCL stamped, I believe. Hope I'm right on that. But if you want the ACO stamped or the unstamped, go to the bagbrokers.shop. If you want the TCL version, go to TCL shop. The price, these were $70 on the Bag Brokers website. It was like just under $10 shipping, like $9.90-ish or something like that shipping. So $80, just under $80 shipped to you. Phenomenal price for an ACO stamp bag, really in that mid to low price point for ACO stamps. If you're buying the TCL version, it's $95 to the TCL website, and I think it's $12 shipping, so $107 shipped to you, which that's kind of a normal price point, I think, what I've seen for TCL stamp bags. But if you don't need the TCL stamp, obviously go get the ACO or unstamped version. You'll save yourself some money. If you're throwing these wild cards, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these bags, so drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think of these bags. As always, I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.